So we start with the COVID-19 pandemic, and we start in China. Hong Kong has locked down one of the city's most densely populated areas in order to test the whole population there for COVID-19. Officials say the measure in the Yau Mai Tai, Tsim Sha Tsui and Mong Kok districts will be lifted once all the residents there have been tested. Health authorities in a city of 7.5 million first isolated 4 tenement blocks in the area last Friday. The Temple Street market has also been locked down. Meanwhile, neighboring Macau has reported one new imported case for the first time in nearly 7 months. Still in China, the Chinese mainland reported 107 new infections on Friday. Among them, 90 are local transmissions. The northeastern province of Heilongjiang was the worst hit, with 56 infections. Of the other domestic cases, 15 are in Hebei, 13 in Jilin, 3 in Beijing and 3 in Shanghai. Authorities also detailed 17 imported cases in 6 different areas, including Shanghai and Shanxi. For more on the situation on the Chinese mainland, let's cross live to our reporters Feng Yilei in Beijing, Sun Tianyuan in the northeastern city of Harbin, and Liu Jiaxing in Shanghai. Let me start with you, Yilei. The Chinese capital is conducting mass testing in a central area. Tell us more about that.
Yes, Pandit, the massive screening campaign has been going on since Friday in Beijing's 2 central districts of Dongcheng and Xicheng, where the Tiananmen Square and many government buildings are located. The city is going to test all residents and workers of at least 2 million people in 2 days. And earlier we saw long queues at a testing station with hundreds of people.
Well, it looks like we're entering some technical difficulties with Yilei right now, but we'll try to reach her again. Now let's go to our reporter Sun Tianyuan in northeast China's Harbin city. Now, Tianyuan, as we just reported, that particular region is currently the worst hit part in China. Tell us more about the measures have been taken to deal with this.
Well, Pandeng, Heilongjiang's Wangui County remains the worst hit area in the entire province, and also the Lunar New Year, which will be the most important holiday for family union in China. But the last wave of COVID-19 in Heilongjiang and Jilin is expected to impede hundreds of thousands of people from visiting their beloved ones, especially in rural regions. At a news conference this morning on Heilongjiang, official said the province's tighter regulation are a response to challenges of epidemic control in rural areas. Now, as I mentioned before, Wangui County, which is a 2-hour drive away from the provincial capital of Harbin, remains the worst hit area in the entire province. The county reported 40 new confirmed cases yesterday. That accounts for the majority of fresh cases in the province. Heilongjiang authorities are suggesting residents stay where they are and celebrate Chinese New Year right there. If a person must return home to rural areas from another province, negative test results within 7 days prior to travel are required. So the person also need to stay at home for a 14-day quarantine period. In medium and high-risk areas such as Suihua, traffic in and out of the city is currently banned. So we've seen similar measures in the city of Tonghua in neighboring Jilin province. And large events, including the Spring Festival's signature temple fairs, are also being put on hold. Residents have been asked to stay at home instead of visiting relatives and friends. So it seems 2021 will be a less festive Chinese New Year. The economy is set to take a hit here. Yesterday, all the restaurants in this neighborhood were closed, so we had to go to a supermarket and stock up on instant noodles, and hopefully our food will last long enough until the situation improves. Otherwise, we're going to spend our New Year holiday in Harbin. Back to you, Pandeng.
Thank you very much and take care. Our reporter Sun Tianyuan in Harbin in northeast China's Heilongjiang province. Now let's go to Liu Jiaxing in Shanghai. Jiaxing, the municipality has reported several locally transmitted cases in the past 2 days for the first time since last November. Tell us more about control and prevention measures in the city.
Yes, Bandung, here in Shanghai, 3 new local transmissions and 8 imported cases of COVID-19 were reported Friday, just as you said, and 2 of the local transmissions were detected in Baoshan district. They are the parents of a confirmed case reported on Thursday. The other one was detected in Huangpu district and is the friend of another case reported on the same day. Officials have informed the public about several areas in Baoshan, Huangpu, and Xuhui where the confirmed cases have been, and the areas have also been disinfected. Now, 75 close contacts of the 3 local transmissions have been traced and placed in quarantine. For the first time, residents in the medium risk area in Huangpu have been moved to designated hotels for a 14-day quarantine. They were transferred overnight. And a total of 358 local cases have been confirmed in Shanghai since the beginning of the outbreak last year. 342 of these have made a full recovery, but 9 people are still in hospital. 7 people have died, and 1 suspected case is currently being held in quarantine. And also, vaccination efforts are currently underway. In a news conference Friday, the director of Shanghai's Municipal Health Commission said 840,000 people have been vaccinated in the city. Of them, 180,000 of these are doctors, nurses, and other staff working in medical facilities. Of the 8 imported cases, all of them are Chinese nationals, and more than 70 close contacts have been traced and quarantined. So that's all for me. Back to you, Pandong.
Thank you very much, our reporter Liu Jiaxing in Shanghai. Now continue our coverage on the pandemic, and let's go back to China and cross live to our reporter Feng Yilei in Beijing. Yilei, we've already covered that mass testing in central districts of Beijing. Now let's talk about another development. The city has started doing antibody tests on all overseas travelers who have arrived since December the 10th last year. Why is that?
Yes, as I said, Beijing is now conducting a massive test on about 4 districts in Beijing that covers about 4 million people, and also other approaches are also underway to help screening the sources of this newly emerged cases. And this new measure was launched when Beijing finished the previous nucleic acid testing, and the health experts said these previous tests showed that some incubation period of patients could last for about 2 weeks, and that means the epidemic in Daxing district could have lasted for about 1 month before the first case was reported. But nucleic acid testing may not be very effective in finding out the first patient, and may fail to find all the virus-positive patients due to the intensive reagents. But antibody tests, as experts told us, could help find those who contracted the virus as early as about 2 months ago. And as I said, Beijing is targeting overseas arrivals because the source of the virus is very likely to come from overseas. So experts added that the test may expand to other groups if needed. And besides, Beijing has also begun to take anal swabs while testing key populations in the city to reduce the so-called false negatives in the COVID-19 testing. And the Chinese capital city will also strictly implement a new policy for all inbound travelers. That is about 14 days plus 2 weeks of quarantine and health monitoring. And this will also they will also investigate the possible risks posed by all inbound travelers as well as imported products to reduce the risks.
Thank you very much, our reporter Feng Yilei in Beijing.